Hello students, I am Priyanka and I welcome you all for our today's session. From last couple of lectures, we have started with a very important topic from advanced web designing, that is the CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. I hope you remember. Then next we saw what exactly a CSS is, then its advantages, and what all things can happen if we use the CSS into our HTML document or a web page. Then later we also focused on some important properties by using which you can change the overall look of your website or a web page. So after studying all these advantages and uses of CSS, we obviously want to include the CSS into our HTML document. So for that we had studied the syntax of the CSS. So if you want to include the CSS part into your HTML document, it is important for you all to know the syntax, how to use the CSS part into our HTML document. So in this set of rules or the syntax we had seen, it consists of two parts. The first part is the selector part, and in the curly braces we mentioned the declaration part. So these were the two parts which we had seen. Now the selector means what? It is the element or a HTML tag for which you have to apply the styling. And in the declaration part, that is in the curly braces, we were mentioning the property and value pair. Means which property you want to change and what value you have to assign to it. So this all things we had seen in the last lecture. But when I gave you the assignments and I came to know that there was a bit confusion between the selector and select tag, right? So I would like to clarify this point. See students, the selector part of CSS is different than the select tag from the form tag, right? The select tag from form was used for what purpose? For having a drop down list into your form, right? I am repeating again, the selector and the select tag are completely different. Previously we had used select tag where we wanted to include a drop down list into our HTML document, and it is a part of form. It is a element of a form. But this selector is different. See, this selector means which element of your web page you want to style or you wish to give the styling to it. So a selector could be any tag like body tag. It could be a P tag, that is the paragraph. H1 tag is the highest heading tag till H6. Anything you can use. So whatever part you have to apply styling, that is called as selector. I hope your doubt is cleared now at least. Before starting with today's new topic, I would like to provide the solution of the assignment which was given earlier, so that if you have got any doubt in that, you will get your answers in the solution itself. So first we will look into that part. Now this slide contains what all the topics we have to discuss today. So as I earlier said that today we will see the solution of assignment, and then later we will see the actual part or the important part of CSS, that is the type of CSS, right? So let us move to the actual assignment which we had seen earlier. Before moving to the assignment, we'll just quickly revise for what purpose a CSS is used. See, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. Why I am forcing this full form? Because many of you have written CSS means cascaded style sheet. So mind well students, it will be considered as a wrong answer. So the CSS full form is what? Cascading style sheet. Then why we have used this CSS? See, it describes the HTML elements, how to display them on the screen. Means we have to apply them styling, right? So it describes how we have to apply the styling, right? So these all points we had seen, and it is very effective way. That is why we include this CSS. We will see what exactly the third point means in today's session. So now this is the actual assignment which was given. So before going to the actual assignment question, we will just quickly see how does the syntax looks for the CSS. So this is what a syntax for the CSS looks like. So if you see in the below that the green part, it is the actual coding part of the CSS. So now outside you can see there is a selector. You know how the CSS syntax is there. Selector is placed first, and then after CSS there is a curly braces, and in these curly braces you will be having the declaration part, that is the property and value pair, right? So here you can see my selector is H1, means whatever text is present in the H1 tag of the body tag of the HTML document, all will have the setting or the styling which is mentioned in the declaration part. So what all styling is mentioned, you can see we have used two properties for that particular H1 tag. First is what? The color, and the color is assigned by the value blue, and after that there is second property font size, which is been assigned by the value 12 pixels. So if you have got H1 tag in your body tag, then all the text included in the H1 part will have a blue text color, and font size will be of size 12 pixels, right? I hope it is clear. So we'll see what exactly the assignment was all about. So what was the assignment? Write the syntax for the below given condition, right? So here I was expecting the whole code, not only the syntax part of the CSS. So let us see what was the first expectation. First, apply blue color as a background color for the web page. So if you want to apply a background color for the whole web page, which tag you will use? Obviously the body tag, right? Because if you use body tag background color, then only the whole web page will have blue color. It is not mentioned that some part has to be in the background color or should have a background color. It is mentioning what? The whole web page should have a background color, that is blue. So our first element which we have to apply the styling is what? The body tag. Agree? So let us see what is the second condition. Second condition is what it is given. Give the largest heading to the web page as myself. What it is given? Give the largest heading to the web page as myself. So what is the largest heading? Obviously it is H1. And what content should be enclosed in the H1? It is given in the double quotes, that is myself, right? So here which element we want to change or we have to apply styling? The second is one H1, right? Previously the first question was related to the body, second is what? For the H1 element. Now what styling it has to be given? It is mentioned after that, which has to have green color. Means what? The text color should be green and should be placed at rightmost part of the web page. Means what? The alignment property is used here, text alignment. So you already know how a text can be aligned: left, center, right, and justify. So what is expected here? That the text which is enclosed in H1 should have what? A green color text, and it should be placed in the rightmost part of the web page, right? So here the second element is H1 and its two properties are used. We'll see in the code. What is the third expectation or condition? We'll see. on the new paragraph. Paragraph means which tag you have to use? P tag. So now the P tag will be our third selector which we have to apply styling, and what all styling is to be applied, it is given. So on the new paragraph, write 2 lines about yourself. Means you have to write any 2 lines about yourself in the P tag, and you have to give the font style as Comic Sans MS. Means the font style property you have to use. Then comma, what is this given? Size of the text as 15 pixels. Means the font size, it has to be 15 pixels, and it should be placed at the center of the web page. Means again here alignment property is used. So here for the third element there are 3 properties which are used. So I hope the question is clear. In the first condition, which element we are choosing? Body. So this is our first selector. Second selector is what? Largest heading means H1. And third is what? A new paragraph means P tag. Right? So we will see how to use syntax for all these 3 elements. So here is the solution. Before going to the style part, first concentrate in the body part. So you can see a proper basic structure is given, and in body tag what all was expected, I have written it. So what all was expected? Myself was to be included in which tag? In H1 tag, right? Largest heading. Then second, what was? A new paragraph was expected with some few lines mentioning. So I have written, hello, this is Priyanka and IT is IT subject, and that is my paragraph. So these all are the 2 lines which will be displayed. Now for this 2 lines and few more things, we have to apply styling. So all the styling part will be mentioned in the CSS part. Now when you have to use the CSS, there is one method you can use, a style tag. You can see in the above section where head tag is there, and in head tag I have enclosed a style tag, and in this style tag I have used all the 3 elements for which we have to apply styling. So we have already discussed, we have to change the body, H1 and P tag, right? I hope it is clear. So what was the first expectation? That our whole web page should have a blue color. So if I want to change the background color, which property I will use? Background dash color, right? So what I have written, you can see the line after style, that is my selector. My selector is body, and my declaration part, what it contains? Background color equal to, that is the colon, light blue. Now here I have given light blue because the dark blue was not properly visible, the output. That is why I have changed to light blue, right? Then next, for the second condition, what was given? That the largest heading should be having a green color for the text. So for giving a color to the text, you have to use the attribute color. And then second attribute, what? Second property what they wanted us to change, that it should be aligned to rightmost part. So which property? Text align, and value is given right. Agree? And the third and the last element was P tag. For this P tag they had given 3 conditions. What? That the font style should be Comic Sans MS. Now you can see in the font style value I have used double quotes. Why? Because I have already earlier told that if there are more than one words as a value, you better enclose in the double inverted commas, so that it will not give us an error. Right? Then the next property is used, what? The font size they have expected that it should be 15 pixels. So we have used font size property. And the last property is what? Text align, and it was expected to be in the center. So I hope this syntax is clear. You can check with your answers and see where you have made mistakes. So we'll see the output of this. So you can see my output. See, our look of web page is changed due to the styling, due to CSS using CSS, we have changed the styling of the web page, right? So what was the first expectation? That our background color should be blue. So I have used light blue color. So you can see a light blue color is there in the background. By default, white color is there for the background, right? Then next, first line was what? H1 tag, the largest tag, and it has to be placed into the rightmost part, right? And the text color was expected to be green. So here you can see the styling is applied for the H1 tag. Then on the new line paragraph, the font style was Comic Sans. So the font is changed, its size is changed, and it is aligned into the center. If you can see, it is aligned correctly into the center of the web page. So let us move to the next part. I hope the assignment solution is clear. If you have still any doubts, you can contact me anytime. So now we will start with the actual today's topic, that is types of CSS. See students, there are 3 types of CSS. CSS is used for what purpose? To apply styling to our web page. One thing I'll tell, you can use any type of CSS, but the output you will get will be same. Understand again, you can use any type or any way to include the CSS into your HTML document, but the output which will be shown will be same. Okay, so why these types? Actually these types are the ways how to use CSS for different conditions. We'll see what all conditions, for what condition, which way you will use. Okay, so the output of any condition or any way you use, the output will be same. So we'll see in details what exactly the types are. I will give you some small hints so that you will not forget this CSS part or you won't get confused. So the first way to include the CSS into our HTML document is the internal style sheet. First way is what? Internal style sheet. Now if you are using this way, there is a hint for this, that you will be having a style tag. You will be using a style tag which will be enclosed in the head tag. I hope you are not getting confused. The earlier assignment solution was using the internal way of CSS. Means I had a style tag, right? We had a style tag which was enclosed in the head tag, right? I hope you remember. So this is a small hint that if it is expected that internal CSS should be used, then style tag is mandatory, and that style tag is placed where? In the head tag. Till now we had seen only 2 tags which are placed in head. Which one? Title and meta. Now this is the third tag which we can place in the head tag, right? So this is the hint. Then second is what? The inline style sheet. Now again one more thing I would like to tell. There is a only single thing which can be used as a tag as well as a attribute in the HTML, and that is the style. So if it is expected to use inline type of style sheet, then there will be a style attribute. Remember, for internal it was style tag, and for inline it is style attribute. Now this style attribute is placed in the tag itself. Means suppose I want to apply a styling to H1. So this style attribute will become attribute of H1. Are you getting me? Any attribute is placed in the tag. I hope you remember, right? So if you are using inline way of CSS, then this style will be the attribute of any element or any tag for which you wish to give styling. We will see in the example and your doubts will be clear if you are getting confused. So I hope the first 2 ways are clear. Internal style sheet, they will be having a style tag, and if you are using inline style sheet, then you will have a style as an attribute which will be enclosed with the tag itself. And the third and the last way to include CSS is external style sheet. Now external style sheet means there will be a separate file only for all the CSS syntax. Means whatever syntax or rules you were enclosing in the style tag of internal, all those will be placed or maintained in a separate file only, and that file will be saved with an extension .css. I hope you are getting that the styling part is maintained in a complete separate file only, and that file is no more saved with .html. Since it is consisting of only styling part, it is saved with the extension .css. Now obviously if there is the external file, we have to use it in our HTML document, right? Agree? If it is an external file, we have to call it in our HTML code. So to call the CSS file in our HTML document, you have to use the link tag, right? We'll see with examples. So I hope the types are clear with the small hints which I had given. I'll remind again. इंटरनल के लिए क्या लगेगा? स्टाइल टैग. इनलाइन के लिए स्टाइल एट्रीब्यूट. और एक्सटर्नल के लिए क्या लगेगा? एक सेपरेट CSS फाइल लगेगी जिसका एक्सटेंशन रहेगा .css, राइट? सो लेट अस मूव एंड स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट टाइप, दैट इज द इंटरनल स्टाइल शीट. So this slide contains what? The internal style sheet. Now as earlier we had discussed that there are three ways to include a CSS into our HTML document, right? So now if you want to include it in using internal style sheet method, then there will be a style tag. There will be a style tag, and in this style tag you will mention all the CSS rules or the elements for which you have to apply the styling, and this all will be placed in the head tag, right? Now earlier we had said that any type or any way you use, the output will be same, right? So for which case you should use internal, which case you should use external or inline, that should be known. So if it is the case that the styling which you have to apply is only for the single page, means in your website there is a single page only and it has got the same unique styling, so you can use internal type of CSS for such condition. Means what? If your page has got, if your website has got a single page, so generally it is better to use an internal style sheet, right? So we will see how it is used. We have seen that there is a style tag and this style tag is placed in the head tag. So with the example we'll see. Now in the example you can see in the head tag the style tag is placed, and in this style tag you will have all the elements or selectors which you wish to style. So if you can see, I am using two elements to style. What is the first element? My first element is body, that is I want it to have a background color as linen. And second styling I am using for which element? H1. For H1 what I am using? Color equal to maroon. Color colon equal to maroon means what? I am assigning the maroon color value to the color. Which color? Text color. And margin left is the property, it has got value 40 pixels. So it will leave the margin of 40 pixels and then it will print whatever is there in the H1 tag, right? So let us see what is given in the next slide. So now here you can see there is a code using internal style sheet and output of that code. So first we will see what is all given in the code. So before looking into the styling part, I would like you to see the body part. See, whatever you have to print or you have to display is all given in the body part, agree. So in my body I have got only a single tag, which is P tag, and in this P tag what text is written? White text on black background. It is simple text. So this is of P tag. Now you can see what styling I have to apply and for which control I will see in the style tag. So for style tag you will see in the head section. You can see I have two different selectors, means I am applying styling for two different elements. First is what? P tag. Now for this P tag I am applying which property? Color having value white, means my text color will become white. Imagine if I don't use the second property, only my P color and value is given white. So what output you will get? Yes, can you guess what output you will get? You will get a plain white paper, blank, nothing will be printed. Even though there is something to be printed, you won't see anything. Why? Because background color by default, what is the color? It is white, and you are typing the text in white color. So how it will be displayed? Obviously it has to be different color than the white, right? That is why we have to change the body's background color. Hence I have changed the body background color to black, means completely opposite. By default what it is? Background color of the body is white and the text color is black. Now here exactly opposite I have done. I have changed the text color to white and the background color to black. So it is appearing like a blackboard used white chalk, right? I hope it is clear. It is simple example, right? Here I have used two elements to style. And this is which type of CSS? It is internal CSS. Why internal? Because I am using a style tag, right? We'll see another example. Now this is again an example with the output itself displaying. So here again you concentrate first on the body part. So in the body section, how many elements or how many lines are there? There are two lines to be displayed, right? First line is what? H1 tag, and there is some sentence in it. And on the second line there is a P tag. Again there are some sentence in the P tag, means there are two lines. First line is of what? H1 tag, and second line is of P tag. Now I have to apply some styling to this web page. So what all styling I have to apply is all given in the style tag. So we'll see the style tag. Now here in the style tag you can see there are total 3 elements for which I am applying the styling. 3 and first is what? Body, second is H1, and third is P. Now what all styling is given, we'll see. For body they have given that background color should be powder blue. So in the output you can see the whole background color is what? Powdered blue color. Then on the new line what is given? H1 color equal to blue, color colon blue, means blue color is assigned to H1, only H1. So which tag or which sentence is using H1? This is a heading. So only for this line, this is a heading, it will have H1 size as well as blue color text. So you can see in the output first line, this is heading. Since it is H1, so it will have the largest heading, and as well as what styling it is given? Blue color of the text. So it is blue in color. On the new line what is there? P color red, means this is paragraph is enclosed in P, right? So it will have the color red, text color as a red, right? I hope it is clear. In this program we are using 3 total elements to style, and only single property is used, agree. Now the next code, I hope the output is visible. Now again you come to the body section. Now in this body section again there are 2 lines. H1, this is heading, and p tag, this is a paragraph, right? Now come to the style tag to see what all styling is applied. Now here you can see there are two different elements or two different selectors. Which one? H1 and P. Selectors मतलब क्या है, जिसको हम स्टाइलिंग करना चाहते हैं वो. सो फिलहाल क्या है, दो है. कौन से? H1 and P. Now we are using multiple properties here. Earlier we had seen only single property changing. Now here we are seeing that there are multiple properties. So see in the style tag, first line H1. In this H1 I am using color, assigning value as blue. Means the text color will be blue. Then the font family will be Verdana and the font size will be 300%. So whatever text is present in H1 tag will have all these settings. Text color will be blue, font family will be Verdana and font size will be increased by 300%. Means H1 tag है ही, उसके ऊपर 300% it will increase. Agree? Next point is what? Next element is P tag. Now for this P again there are three different properties. Color मतलब text color will be red, font family will be Courier and font size will be 160%. So in the output you can see for H1 you will have all the settings and P tag you will have all the settings. Agree? Next, now here again you look into the body tag. There are again two tags. Which one? H1 and P. My first CSS example, and for P it is written this is paragraph. Now in the style tag you will see how many elements I am using to style. There are total 3 now. One is what? Body, second is H1 and third is P. For body, what property it is using? Background color should be light blue. So you can see in the output background color has become light blue. Again for H1 they have used the color equal to white. The color value has white color, means the value for the color property is given white and text align is center. So you can see whatever is written in H1 tag it will have all these two properties. The text color will be white and as well as it will be placed in the center, and also it is H1 tag so it will have that much font, H1 largest heading size. Agree? And for P what is given? Simple font family Verdana and font size 20 pixels. So accordingly it will be having the Verdana font and it will have font size as 20 pixels, right? Then the next example, let us see what is given in the body. Again there are only two tags, H1 tag and P tag. Come to the style part. There are now how many? Two elements which I want to style. For body I want background color equal to linen, so you can see my background color has changed to the linen color. And for H1 I want color has to be red and margin left 80 pixels. Means what? From margin, left margin, it will have 80 pixels blank spaces and it will then start whatever is given. So now here there is a small variation. You can see that I have got two different tags in my body tag, H1 and P, but I wish to apply only styling for the H1 part, right? I have not written the styling part for P tag. If you can see, there is no styling given to the P tag. That is why it has come as it is. P tag. This paragraph will be not affected and H1 is affected. Why? Because I have used the styling for that tag, right? Then next, now here see in the body tag how many tags are there or how many elements are there. There are three different elements, H1, P and H2. This is a heading, this is a paragraph, this is a heading, right? So these three lines will be definitely printed in the output. Now come to the styling part. Now in the styling part, how many elements I am using? 3. Which? Body, H1, P. So for body, what property I am using? Background color should be powder blue. So you can see in the output background color is powder blue. For H1 the text color should be blue, right? So you can see the first line, that is, this is heading. It is the H1 tag, means largest heading, and as well as the text color has changed to blue, right? Then next selector is what? P tag. What value or what property is used? Color equal to, or color should have value red. So for the P tag, all the text enclosed in it will have a red color, right? So you can see on the new line there is a P tag and it will have a red color. Why? Because the styling given to the P tag is only the text color has to be red. Agree? Now second, what it is given, third line, H2 tag. This is a heading. Now if you see, it is printed as it is in H2 size. Why? It is H2 means it will print the H2 size text, but there is no styling applied to it. That is why it has come as it is. So I hope what all examples I have taken, you have got it. If you have any query, you can ask me. So this is it for today's lecture. Then in the next lecture we will see different remaining types of CSS. Thank you.